From the studios of Farm Journal Broadcast, this is AgDay.
They're starting to take over.
Yeah, putting that first seed in the ground and being, at risk on your own operation for the first time.
Charting a new course.
Farmers are doing their part to combat the 10% carbon emissions that we are contributing to greenhouse gases.
They're the next generation of farmers with big dreams.
I want to keep the focus on the farm.
And big plans. We hear from this new crop of farmers and ranchers this morning on AgDay.
AgDay is brought to you by Pioneer. Pioneer brand corn has game-winning statistics like a 10 bushel per acre yield advantage. Pioneer brand corn, your best year starts here.
Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. This morning, we're introducing you to the next generation of farmers. USDA's latest Census of Agriculture says less than 10% of all producers are under the age of 35. Those under 30 are even fewer. But nearly 300 million acres of U.S. farmland are expected to change hands in the next 20 years. Beyond the transfer of land and the often complex succession planning process, investing in the next generation involves the transfer of skills and knowledge. So this morning, we're looking at the next gen producers who have so far successfully navigated those complicated waters. We began with a look at the U.S. pork industry, which has seen its share of consolidation in the past several years. However, in South Dakota, they continue to grow production by bringing in younger producers. AgDay's Michelle Rook talked to a next-generation pork producer who's helping to buck the trend.
Adam Krause is a fourth-generation pork producer from Clear Lake, and he says without pork production, he wouldn't have had the opportunity to come back here to the farm. Krause raises 25,000 head of pigs annually in this nursery barn he built in 2016 after graduating from SDSU.
And here I own the barn, but somebody else owns the pigs, and I just get paid to take care of them. So I'll get them at 14 pounds and grow them to 60 pounds. After that, kind of the next phase of our operation with working with my dad, he's got some finisher barns. So in that particular barn, that will take those pigs from 60 pounds to their market weight where they will go to their harvest facility.
He says being a contract grower is opening a door to farming, once closed for many young people due to financial barriers, including the high cost of land.
It would have been really difficult for me to come back to the farm if I wouldn't have built this barn right away. It was a great opportunity for me to be my own boss for part of the day and then come back and be a part of something bigger, as in my home operation as well.
As a next-gen producer, this is also providing an avenue to buy into his family pork and grain operation.
It's a great opportunity for a young person like me to gain some equity, put in some sweat equity, and maybe start to transition back to the family farm. So took a little bit of that load of not only financially, but as far as building my own balance sheet or being able to buy in or buy some equipment and what that all looks like. I maybe could have done it, maybe not. Every farm is different, but at the end of the day, I'm definitely happy I did.
Krause says this type of business arrangement is part of the reason South Dakota has achieved double-digit growth in pork production, but he also gives credit to the business-friendly environment.
Over the last 5 to 10 to 20 years, call it, there's been a lot of sow farms. It's a great place to put up a sow farm because it's not a lot of pig pressure, but here in South Dakota, we've certainly got a lot of corn and soybean meal available.
And as the president of the South Dakota Pork Producers Council, Krause takes pride in the fact this growth is being done responsibly.
But at the end of the day, pig farmers are doing what's best for their pigs, for their environment, and their families and communities. And I think they all do a very good job with integrity doing that.
I'm Michelle Rook reporting for AgDay.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Still ahead, meeting more young producers who are busting the mold and charting a new path on their farms, or creating a new vision on family farms. You'll meet one woman who came back to the family operation and is already making waves. Next. We're seeing more women coming into farming. We recently spoke with one woman who's growing soybeans, corn, and rice in the Arkansas-Mississippi Delta. She was also the winner of this year's Top Producer Next Gen Award. Hallie Schaffner. The work never stops, even if the machines do at SFR Seed in Newport, Arkansas.
I haven't milled this all the way, but it's...
Hallie Schaffner is focused on potential at her 2,000-acre operation, a family business specializing in seed production and research. Hallie is carrying on a mission her mother started back in 1988.
She trained me in how to increase pure seed stock of soybeans and rice. And it's been a journey of me learning what she did and then adopting new practices in the field, particularly in terms of rice work.
Which is somewhat new to the operation, now growing and maintaining about 20 different rice varieties in partnership with USDA.
We've been very lucky to have them helping us out in the field so that we can build our own rice purity program.
Raised in these fields, Hallie spent her childhood between the rows.
When I was little, my mom gave me an option. She said, you can go to church with your grandmother or you can go scout cotton with your dad. And that, as a kid, that's an easy choice, right? Because he would take me to McDonald's and we'd get, which he still does today. We'd stop and he'd say, go pick me 100 squares. And so we'd go out. We'd pick them, bring them back to the tailgate, open them up, look for bugs. And those are some of my best memories with my dad.
After college, encouraged to get out of ag, she lived all over the world, from Nashville to India, back to Seattle to Arkansas, then Peru and Spain.
I tried a lot of different things. I tried grant writing, I tried nonprofit work, I tried marketing, and I really didn't find anywhere where I fit in.
But agriculture was calling.
My dad needed to retire because he got his dementia diagnosis, and they said, you can come back if you want. If you don't, we'll just shut it down. And I thought, no, I don't, please don't do that.
Working with her mother, in 2019, she took the lead as CEO and continues to focus on growing the business, searching for opportunities in specialty crops and value-added production.
But in the Delta, we're so focused on commodities, we're so focused on volume that we kind of lose perspective on the specialty work. And there is a push now, knowing that the Delta has water and places like California do not. You know, there's going to be a big push for specialty work here in the South.
And she's doing it while focusing on sustainability.
Farmers are doing their part to combat the 10% carbon emissions that we are contributing to greenhouse gases. We need support from other industries. If we're making the investments in technology that we need to become more environmentally sustainable, other industries need to do so as well.
An exciting future built on the gifts from the past.
I'm extremely privileged. I come from a long history of farming. I'm a 6th generation farmer. I will inherit land that's been in our family for over 100 years.
Confidence and precision. She's pouring into every day as she works to carry on a legacy of innovation.
I'm proud to be a farmer. Like I said, farmers are the ultimate innovators. We have been since the agricultural revolution 10,000 years ago. And I just am proud to be a part of that generation.
Coming up, meet another next-gen producer who's smashing stereotypes. How she's making fans out of older farmers and social media lovers. Next. Fathers and daughters can often share a special bond and help bridge the age gap on the farm. But for the Kent family in Ohio, that bond also created an opportunity, as Farm Journal's Tyne Morgan shows us.
Whether it's her humor,
I can't wait for like 20, 30 years from now when I'm that old person on the farm that's like, well, back in my day.
her hard work,
Put more starter in and I finished this field.
or her unfiltered take on being a farmer today. At 28 years old, Zoe Kent is smashing stereotypes everywhere she turns.
I can't remember a time that I didn't want to farm. I think there was one time in 5th grade that I wanted to be a hairdresser. My parents steered me away from that. I couldn't cut in a straight line to save my life. My senior project was learning how to do all of the bookwork at the farm, which luckily in 2013, it was a good year, so it enticed me to come back.
But her mom was adamant. With 3 kids, she wanted them all to get an education and explore opportunities off the farm. While at Ohio State, Zoe tackled an ag business degree while also cheering. Zoe enjoyed the college life, but she still knew farming is where she wanted to be. She also worked on the farm during the summer, and after graduation, finally returned home to farm full-time.
We formed the LLC in 2019, and then 2021, Dad decided he was ready to retire, so I bought him out. So this is my 2nd year of owning the farming operation.
Transitioning the farm was always part of the plan, but the timing of that transition was not.
It happened faster than we were expecting it to. First, when we set out, we thought, okay, we're gonna run as partners for 5 years and then begin the transition in 2019.
When a neurological genetic condition created health headwinds for her dad, Mickey, their plan changed.
Dad didn't have a hip for 7 months, and so it was a long process of him not being able to do a lot of things physically, and I was taking on a lot of those roles.
The two also knew if she bought the farm early, Mickey would still be around for advice and guidance for years to come. And today, these two are inseparable.
I genuinely just really like hanging out with my dad.
Mickey is also a fan favorite among Zoe's more than 200,000 followers on social media.
So obviously my dad is in the videos, and my dad is always a hit. I don't think I've ever gotten a single negative comment about my dad.
Her Farm with Zoe Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok accounts have become wildly popular in just 2 years.
I have some specific boundaries I set. I don't show my family, I don't show my boyfriend, because I want to keep the focus on the farm.
She also surrounds herself with a good team. And as an 8th generation farmer, Zoe's goal is to be able to pass Kent Farms on to the next.
With that, it does have some pressure added to it. My parents never put pressure on me, and they've never once said, this must continue for centuries to come or anything like that. But yeah, I do feel a pressure.
Adding her own flair with social media while farming full-time with her father by her side.
If I hadn't grown more, there wouldn't have been as much opportunity for you to take over, and for me to retire.
A special bond that uncovered an opportunity for Zoe to come back and farm, as Zoe cherishes the journey and her father's greatest gift, the unwavering belief she could.
I don't think I'd change a thing.
All right, thanks, Tyne. Now, what do you do when you want to start out as a cowboy? How one young producer is making a name for himself in the beef industry. Next. A rancher from Nebraska is starting to make a name for himself in the cattle business. Michelle Rook shows us why he's a recent winner of the Tomorrow's Top Producer Horizon Award.
Trey Wasserberger always wanted to be a cowboy, but there was no opportunity in his family. Instead, his journey into the purebred business started in October of 2016.
Greg Wilkie put us together and said, I want you to meet Bill Rischel. He's a legend within the Angus breed.
The two met at the ranch near North Platte, Nebraska. Rischel quickly saw the passion Trey had for the cattle business and within a matter of weeks made him his protege. Trey never owned registered stock prior to that, but he and wife Dana jumped in with both feet.
And then January 1, I owned a seed stock business and never even worked on one. In March, I had my first bull sale. Now this will be our 5th bull sale of our own, and we've been growing it from 112 bulls that first year to about 400 this year.
Those bulls are sold in 30+ states, and to show accountability, commercial customers can sell or consign their feeder cattle into the first of its kind TD feed test.
We do it about a $25,000 award, 5 categories for those customers in the TD feed test, and prime percentage and CAB percentage, highest yield, which is a lot of value there. Residual daily gain, average daily gain, ADG, so it's about 5,000 to each category.
TD Angus also owns 1,200 registered cows, and to accelerate genetic improvements, they put 300 to 400 embryos a year in their own and customers' herds. They also conduct DNA and genomic testing on all the offspring.
I want to DNA that calf at birth and have him registered with his DNA, because if I like what happened genetically, I might do it again.
TD Angus specializes in cattle procurement and heifer development and runs 4,500 yearlings on grass and develops 400 to 600 commercial bred heifers a year.
We'll go back out there and try to buy those calves back, those steer calves specifically, and also do a heifer development program for the heifer calves, so we have an avenue for both sets of calves, and then usually try to get them back here to our family feedlot.
And that commercial feed yard features their own genetics and their own feed.
Kirk Olson, Dana's dad, feeds about 50,000, and our feed test gets about 4,000 or 5,000 every year. So that's a big part of our business as well.
But Wasserburgers didn't stop there. The pandemic showed them how fragile the food supply and the cattle market was. And from that, sustainable beef was born.
We got, first time ever, we actually have under one roof and under one team is sustainable beef. We have a seed stock producer that's going to provide a high marbling, high tenderness product to sire these calves. That's going to go out, hopefully all over the country, come back to our family feedlot, and then go to, sustainable beef, and then go into Walmart's feed supply.
This is a one-of-a-kind supply chain partnership with Walmart, and it stemmed from shared sustainability goals.
What's really cool is our carbon footprint is limited, all without 15 miles of each other. These bulls, our feedlot, and our packing plant in the Walmart distribution center are all within 15 miles of each other. And that's huge, and we're proud of that.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Well, it can be tough for young farmers to get started in the industry. So why not team up? That's what two young farmers in Louisiana did. See how it's working out next. One day soon, this next generation of farmers will be the industry's biggest decision makers. Today, we meet two such farmers, lifelong family friends and now partners in business. This week in Louisiana's Carl Wiggers takes us to their farm in Lake Providence.
Seeds are filling these rows quickly at New Generation Farms in Lake Providence. Over the past few weeks, that's been tough with weather not cooperating. Nolan Parker is one of the partners on the farm. He formed this farm partnership in 2022 with Matt Brown, a lifelong family friend.
That first crop was really exciting, putting that first seed in the ground and being, at risk on your own operation for the first time was really exciting, and it was a lot of fun. We learned a lot, obviously, whether it's labor, equipment, planting, harvesting, different practices. It's all going to take a minute to come together, but I think we've done well at adapting, to the changes and challenges that we faced throughout the year.
Nolan's father, Tap Parker, once served as the East Carroll Farm Bureau president, and he continues to farm nearby. Brown says having Mr. Tap as a mentor has been a huge help.
Mr. Tap's kind of like a mentor to me, and he's kind of walked us through this process. He kind of started from the ground up, and he's been really instrumental about how to kind of, work this equipment, because it's really hard financially to get started.
Nolan says while it's great to have that family support in agriculture, he has also seen great value in starting his own farm outside of an established family business.
Dad also encouraged this, he encouraged me to come back, create my own partnership, take my own risk, know what the experience is like taking out your own crop loan and, putting your money on the line like that and taking a risk, instead of coming back in the family operation.
Farmers like Brown, Parker, and their workers need to make a fair living while growing crops to put food on our tables. Parker says having a great relationship with their lender, First South Farm Credit, is key to keeping this farm and countless more in business.
Their relationship for Matt and I, is instrumental in our farming career, because we wouldn't have the opportunity to do what we do without organizations such as First South.
And with the cost of everything going up, they're putting faith in you that they're going to know that they're going to get paid back. So having a relationship, which we have an extremely good relationship with our lending officer, and it's great.
Now what's on this iPad is also helping pay the bills. Brown and Parker use the latest tech from John Deere and other tools to do much more than just keep an eye on their tractors. They're tracking data that will help them improve their land and yields year after year.
That's what's really exciting to me is the whole technology piece. Matt's got into the drone spraying game now, and so it's constantly changing, new technology coming out every year, so there's always something to be excited about.
In a day's time in the farming world, it's just, you never know what might happen. We're going to get parts here and hauling seed over here and delivering fertilizer back there, so it's a lot. It's 2 o'clock now. I feel like I just got up and started the day. It moves fast. It's kind of a revolving door here. We're moving moving guys down there because we're finding dry ground. It's no day's ever the same.
Our thanks to Carl Wiggers and This Week in Louisiana Agriculture for sharing that story with us. And that's all the time we have this morning. We're sure glad you tuned in for this special edition of Ag Day. From all of us here, I'm Clinton Griffiths. Have a great day.